Alright, what's up everybody? Back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Yes, we're back. Hope you guys are having a good one. And today, we're doing a recap. The first recap in about a week. I've been doing some other videos, not recaps, doing some kind of prediction videos and awards and stuff like that. Honestly, it's because I haven't been able to really watch a full slate of games throughout most of this week because there's been some personal stuff going on. So yesterday was the first time since I think like Monday that I was actually able to watch a full slate of games. So we're doing a recap today. Recap yesterday, March 10th. So yeah, before we get into it, if you like the content around here, consider subscribing, like, turn on notifications, all this stuff like that. I really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. Yeah, so I waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. About Portland and Philly playing against each other. Portland's been really struggling. Philly's been really killing it. And Portland actually came out this game super hot. Like, they were hitting everything, it felt like. Like, Nurkic got started, then Simons, Jeremy Grant, all three of them were doing good. They started the game off on an 18-6 run. And yeah, the first half of the first quarter belonged to Portland. I mean, everyone on them was hitting everything. Even Dame got in some free throws. Um, it looked like they were going to go big, but then Joel Embiid kind of settled it down. Joel Embiid, Anthony Melton kind of settled it down a little bit. Portland led 37-29 at the end of the first. Go to the second quarter, and Portland once again starts off hot. Anthony Simons, Jeremy Grant, even Cam Reddish in there. But the Sixers fight back. Their bench really does. Paul Reed makes some hustle plays. He made a funny play where he got like a rebound and tried to go like a reverse layup and missed, and then got it back. And it's all hot. He's still not fully developed on his offensive game, but he hustles and plays good defense. It's him, Shake Milton, Jordan Yang hitting threes, and then James Harden as well, kind of leading that bench unit, brought him back, to a 5-point game at one point. But then, Nurkic, Nurkic, Jeremy Grant, but then Dame hit some shots near the end of the first half, and the Blazers were up 71-56 at halftime. We go to the third quarter, and Simons and Thibault make the first two shots, but then the Sixers make a little run. Sixers make a 10-2 run after that to make it a 7-point game, but then from there on, the third quarter is kind of in this 12 to 8-point range. Anthony Simons was amazing. Anthony Simons had like 29 at the end of 3 quarters. Even though it was just announced before the game he was going to play because he had an ankle injury. But Joel Embiid as well. Joel Embiid was really doing everything in his power to try to bring this team back. He had, I think, 30 at the end of 3 quarters. The Blazers, they led 96-85 at the end of 3. We go to the fourth quarter. Anthony Simons hits the first 2 shots. But then the Sixers bench again, bringing energy. Jordan Yang, Daniel House, who doesn't really play that often, hit some shots. Harden, and then D'Anthony Melton hit a big 3-pointer with 4 minutes left to bring it to a 5-point game. And then Harden hit a step back 3 to make it a 2-point game. And then Joel hit 2 free throws to tie the game up. And yeah, Portland just went cold, and Sixers defense was really good, and their bench played with a lot of energy to kind of lead the comeback. But yeah, the Blazers just, their hot shooting wasn't really like that. Dame hit a tough step back in the corner to make it a 2-point lead. And then went back and forth. With 20 seconds left, Jamie Lillard made a bad pass to Tyrese Maxey. Maxey gets the steal. 7 seconds left, the Sixers call a timeout, and then Joel Embiid gets the ball and hits a nice, tough step back fadeaway from the free throw line to give the Sixers the lead for the first time in the entire game. And then the other possession, Dame gets the ball but doesn't even get it shot off in time. And the Sixers sneak out with a 120-119 win. Brought a lot of energy on defense. And Portland was just missing shots at the end of the day. And Joel Embiid was incredible. Both teams shot really well. Portland shot 53%. Sixers shot 52%. Portland hit 15 threes. They both had the same amount of turnovers. It was a very tight game. It was just cut the fourth quarter shooting. Sixers outscored Portland 35-23 in the fourth quarter. Joel finished with 39, 7 and 4, 2 steals, 3 blocks. He shot 13 for 20. He was amazing this game. Harden had 19, 9 and 8. Tobias Harris had 13. D'Anthony Melton had 13 and 5 assists off the bench. And George Niang hit 4 threes off the bench as well. The bench was big for Philly. For Portland, Anthony Simons had 34. He shot 13 for 22, 8 for 12 from 3. He was really on fire in this game. Jeremy Grant had 24 and 10. Dame had 22, 6 and 11. Cam Reddish had 14. Nurkic had 11, 5 and 5. Portland didn't really get help outside of Cam Reddish from the bench. And then, they just couldn't hit shots really at the end of the game when they needed it. So that was a big win for Philly. Hawks and Wizards, they're playing again I think that's crazy because I think they're playing all four of their games in like the last month or half of the season. Because they played against each other not too long ago. I think like mid-February. And they played against each other. I think earlier this week. Porzingis had 40, and then this is the third time I think they play each other one more time, which is weird for division rivals to play all four games at the end of the year. I don't know what that's about, but whatever. So Hawks and Wizards again. What was your typical first, back and forth. It was Bradley Beal, Kuzma, Porzingis starting off, and at the end, the bench guys like Danny Avdija and Daniel Gafford did some things for Atlanta. Trae Young played really well in the first quarter, and then he got some others involved. Guys like Sadiq Bey hit some shots, and DeAndre Hunter. Wizards led 29-24 at the end of the first quarter. Then we go to the second quarter. And the Hawks have a really good second quarter. Started by their bench, guys like Bogdanovich and Jalen Johnson started there. Then Clint Capella, Sadiq Bey hitting shots. Trae Young fighting everybody, but also hitting his. And the Hawks outscored Washington 32-21 in the second quarter, and they take a 56-50 lead into the second half. We go to the third quarter, and the Wizards are, playing Wizards ball. Bradley Beal is getting to the rim. Daniel Gafford is in shots. Chris Osman is in threes. But the Hawks are just playing really good. DeJounte Murray takes over that third quarter. He starts hitting threes and getting everyone involved. But the Wizards make it a game. The Wizards come back. Porzingis hit back-to-back threes. And then Gafford hit a layup to give them the lead. It was very back and forth in the third quarter. The Hawks bench, Bogdanovich, Sadiq Bey playing really well in this game. And the Wizards were down 10 going into the third quarter because the Hawks bench was playing really well. We go to the fourth, and the Wizards are trying, but DeJounte Murray is playing really good. The Hawks bench, Bogdanovich and Bey are getting to the line, hitting shots. And yeah, the Wizards just kind of struggled. Bradley Beal, Kuzma kind of struggled to shoot consistently in this game, even though Bradley Beal did hit some shots in the fourth quarter, a lot of shots to keep him in the game. Trae Young hit a big 3-pointer with a minute 17 left to make it a 5-point lead, and then Washington just got some shots, got some opportunities on some missed free throws, but just couldn't convert on them. The Hawks hit their free throws at the end, and they win 114-107. The Hawks hit 15 threes. They shot 15 for 31. The Wizards hit just 7 threes in this game. That was a big difference. Trae Young hit 6 threes in a game. He shot well from 3, which is very rare to say. He had 28, 9 assists. He shot 9 for 19, 6 for 10 from 3. DeAndre Hunter had 18 and 7. DeJounte Murray has 16, 7 and 7. And then the bench was big. Bogdanovich had 15 points, and Sadiq Bey had 14 points. That's huge for Atlanta. And Clint Capella also had 10 rebounds. We have for Washington, Bradley Beal had 27, 6 and 5. He shot 11 for 24. Porzingis had 22 and 9 with 2 blocks. Kuzma 17 points. He shot 7 for 12. I feel like it wasn't really in this game, especially in the fourth. It felt like he wasn't really in it. Daniel Gafford had 13 and 8, and DeLon Wright had 10 off the bench. But yeah, big win for Atlanta. Wizards are really struggling recently. The Wizards have lost 2 in a row. They're only a half game above Chicago for the last play-in spot, and only a game above the Pacers. So they got to figure it out. The Bulls and Pacers will come in and steal that spot from them. The Nuggets and Spurs. The Nuggets started this game off how the Nuggets should play this game. They start off a good first quarter. Jokic, Jamal Murray, the others are hitting threes. They led 38-26 at the end of the first, and it looked like it was going to be a blowout. But then the San Antonio Spurs, the bench of the Spurs, come out. They score 42 points in the second quarter. Outscored Denver 42-29, led by the bench. Honestly, Keita Bates-Diop, Doug McDermott, Zach Collins started it, but then, Jeremy Sohan got in. Devin Vassell hit some shots. Keldon Johnson near the end of the quarter. And all of a sudden, the Spurs lead by 1, 68-67 after a tough Jamal Murray buzzer beater at the end of the second quarter. The Spurs lead by 1 in the second quarter. We go to the third quarter. Jokic is trying to do his thing. Jokic is trying everything he can to bring the Nuggets back, but the Spurs bench and the Spurs actually are just playing well. Jimmy Sohan, they're getting to the lane and really just getting to the paint. They're not a great 3-point shooting team. They just get to the paint. Keldon Johnson, they got Devin Vassell in there. Zach Collins. Zach Collins and Michael Porter Jr. had a little mix-up in the third quarter where they both got ejected. The Spurs are just playing really well. Jokic had like a 30-point triple-double dang near the end of the third, but it didn't matter because the Spurs were leading 98-93. We go to the fourth quarter. The Spurs start off on a nice run. Keita Bates-Diop hit a 3, then Devin Vassell hit a jumper, then Sandro Mamukelashvili. Mamu He just got picked up after the Bucks waived him the other week. He got picked up by the Spurs, and he had a big fourth quarter. Even though he didn't play the entire game, he came into the fourth quarter and had 11 points and 2 threes. He wanted to get buyout to show that he had a little bit more because he was on the Bucks, and he's never going to get minutes on the Bucks. And he played really well in that game. He was in threes, diming people up, and he really kind of closed out this game. Him and Trey Jones kind of closed his game out. Down Vassell as well, and the Spurs somehow beat the Nuggets 128-120. They shot 54% from the field. They hit 13 threes. The rebounding was big too. They out rebounded Denver 50-33 and had 13 offensive rebounds in this game. Just a really grinded out, really good win. Scoring in the paint. Jokic was not doing great on the interior defense, but he's not a really good interior defender, but he's at least decent. He wasn't like that today. Spurs, Keldon Johnson had 23, 8 and 6. Doug McDermott had 20 off the bench. He had 4 threes. Jimmy Sohan had 19 and 8. Devin Vassell had 14. Trey Jones had 14, 8 assists off the bench. Mahmoud Kalashvili had 11, and Zach Collins had 10 and 9 before he got ejected. But yeah, great win for San Antonio. Great confidence booster as well, being the best team in the West. For Denver, Jokic had 37, 11, and 11. Jamal Murray had 24, 6, and 7. Aaron Gordon had 14, and KCP had 13. But yeah, they didn't really get much production on their bench, and then Michael Porter Jr. got ejected early. But yeah, honestly, it doesn't really matter for Denver. Denver is the only team that's comfortable in the West. So Denver is the only team that really can go on like a 3 or 4 game losing streak, and no one cares because they're probably still going to be first. But still, that's a great win for San Antonio. 17-49, be able to beat the best team in the West like that. That's a good win. So yeah, Cavs Heat. The Cavs beat the Heat the first time in this little back-to-back matchup. But the Cavs, no Darius Garland in this game because of a quad contusion. So yeah, Donovan Mitchell. It was really just Donovan Mitchell doing everything in the first half. Donovan Mitchell against the Heat. Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero, and some shots in the first quarter. The Heat led 27-26 at the end of one. We go to the second quarter. Donovan Mitchell gets hot. He's starting to hit three. He's hitting threes all over the place. But the Heat, the role players, Victor Oladipo, Bam, doing things. But then the Cavs got hot in the second quarter from three. Jetty hit some threes. Karis LeVert hit some threes. It was a really back and forth kind of first half. The Cavs led 59-50 at the end of the first half. Donovan Mitchell had like 25, I think, at halftime. We go to the third quarter, and Donovan Mitchell is doing it again. But the Heat are making a comeback. Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero are hitting threes. For Cleveland, Evan Mobley was doing solid, but then also they got some production with LeVert and Isaac Okoro as well. Isaac Okoro was playing really good against some tip-ins, hustling, doing his thing. The Cavs led by 14 at one point after a Donovan Mitchell 3-pointer, but then the Heat make a comeback led by Max Strus, Victor Oladipo, and Jimmy Butler as well. At the end of the third, got hot. He even hit a 3-pointer, and they were down 89-82 going into the fourth quarter. Donovan Mitchell has 33 at the end of the third. We go to the fourth quarter. Max Strus hits a 30 to start him. Bam hits a shot. Tyler Hero hit back-to-back tough 3-pointers and gave the Heat a 93-91 lead. And then the game goes back and forth from there. Bam doing things. The role players. Donovan Mitchell not really being able to hit shots. And then Jimmy Butler with the last 5 minutes takes over this game. I mean, he really does. He's hitting pull-up mid-ranges, getting to the rim, getting to the free throw line, doing all that stuff, even on defense. Tyler Hero got involved a little bit too, hitting a big 3-pointer to lead by 7 with 1:35 left. But then Donovan Mitchell hits back-to-back shots, and Evan Mobley gets a lob dunk to make it a 1-point game. And then Jimmy Butler hits a tough pull-up. And it's funny because you look at the play, Eric Spoelstra was literally like, give Jimmy the ball. Give Jimmy the ball. It was so funny. And Jimmy got it, and he hit it 115 and 112. And the Cavs hit free throws. But he also hit free throws. Donovan Mitchell tried to intentionally miss a second free throw. Down 2, but it couldn't get it. Then Jimmy hits 2 free throws, and that seals it. The Heat win 119 to 115. The Heat shoot 51% from the field. The Cavs shoot 47%. But the Cavs hit more threes, 18 threes. Which is actually good for us since we didn't have Darius Garland. He hit 14 threes. The Heat rebounding. They out-rebounded us 46-34, had 11 offensive rebounds. And Jimmy Butler really took over this game. He had 33, 5, and 3, shot 12 for 16. When he wants to take over and be in the clutch, he's going to take over. Tyler Hero had a big contribution as well with 25 and 9 rebounds. He hit 5 threes. Bam had 19, 6, and 4 with 3 steals. And then Max Strus had 14 hit 4 threes off the bench. For Cleveland, Donovan Mitchell had 42. He shot 15 for 30, 8 for 15 for 3. I would like to see him take over a little bit early because a lot of his points came in the last 2 minutes. I like to see him do it a little bit earlier, especially because he was so hot throughout the first 3 quarters. LeVert had 16, hit 4 threes. Isaac Okoro had 16. Evan Mobley had 12. Jared Allen had 13 rebounds, 4 blocks. He only had 6 points, and then we didn't really get much help from the bench. We got some energy, but didn't really get much help. Hey, Dean Wade didn't play for some reason, so I don't like that. I want Dean Wade to play. But yeah, good win for Miami. Jimmy G buckets. Next we have Nets and Timberwolves. This was a really good game from the start. The game started off good for Minnesota. It was Rudy Gobert played really well in that first quarter. In the paint, the Nets didn't really. They have Nick Claxton, but after that, they don't really have a real center. They did sign Nolan Noel, but he didn't play in this game for some reason. But then also Mikal Bridges was hitting shots. Minnesota led 33-26 at the end of the first quarter. Go to the second quarter, really high scoring second quarter. It was 35-34 in the second quarter. The Minnesota bench was playing really well, but then the Nets, Mikal Bridges, and Cam Johnson, and Seth Curry as well. Seth Curry brought a lot of spark in the mid-second quarter, which he hasn't really done that since the KD and Kyrie trades. He hasn't really got as much minutes. But Minnesota was playing really well in this first half. They led 68-60 at halftime. We go to the third quarter, but the Nets in the third quarter just get hot. Dinwiddie hit some threes. Dorian Finney-Smith hit some shots. Claxton dunks. Mikal Bridges being a star that he is. And the Nets outscore Minnesota 37-20 in the third quarter. And all of a sudden take a 9-point lead into the fourth. Yeah, the Nets were just on fire in the third. Dinwiddie playing a big part of it, getting buckets, and then also finding his teammates to set up a really good fourth quarter where Rudy Gobert and Mike Conley are bringing Minnesota back. Dinwiddie, Mikal Bridges hitting some shots to give them the lead. The Nets were up 109-101 with 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. But the Timberwolves come all the way back and tie the game after Anthony Edwards does some great things. Hits a step back, hits a 3-point step back. Tie the game, but then Royce O'Neal hit a big 3-pointer with 1:38 left that next possession to make it a 3-point game. Goes back and forth. Mikal Bridges did 2 free throws with 1 second left to make it 114-111. The Timberwolves call a timeout. The inbound to Naz Reid, and Naz Reid just throws up a 3. He hasn't done anything all game. He throws up a 3, and it goes in at the buzzer to tie the game and send it to overtime. A huge shot from Naz. And then we go to overtime, and it's very back and forth overtime. Jaden McDaniels, Mike Conley play well, but then Mikal Bridges hits a big 3, and then Dorian Finney-Smith hits a big 3-pointer. Anthony Edwards had a crazy possession, too, where he got 2 straight blocks. I don't know if that was overtime or if that was the end of the fourth quarter, where he had a lot of blocks in this game. He was playing really good defense. Yeah. And then the last possession for Minnesota, Mike Conley gets a decent look at a 3. He just couldn't get it to go. And then Brooklyn wins 124-123. It was really the 3-pointer. Brooklyn hit 16 threes. Minnesota hit 9 threes. Because Minnesota had more assists. They shot better from the field, but threes. And then in the clutch, they just hit more clutch threes. Mikal Bridges, another 30-point game, 34-6-1. He shot 13 for 24, hit 4 threes. I think he has, 6 30-point games he's gone to Brooklyn? That's more than his entire career in Phoenix combined. So that's insane. Spencer Dinwiddie had 29, 11 assists. He was big in this game. Cam Johnson had 15. Royce O'Neal had 12 points and 15 rebounds, 3 steals off the bench. Yeah, it's a big game for him. Dorian Finney-Smith had 11 and 3 steals. Nick Claxton had 11, 9, 4 blocks. He fouled out in this game as well. And then Seth Curry put an 11 off the bench. For Minnesota, Anthony Edwards at 32-6-2. He also had 3 blocks. He shot 12 for 26. He looked like a all-star in this game. He was hitting step-back threes, playing good defense, getting rebounds. He was doing it all. And then Rudy had a really good game as well, 26-13 with 4 steals. Kyle Anderson had 15, 7, and 11 assists. Jaden McDaniels had 15. Mike Conley had 11, 6, and 7. He didn't shoot well from the field. He shot 3 for 13 and 1 for 6 and 3. And then Nickeil Alexander-Walker had 10 off the bench. We had good win from Brooklyn. And then Minnesota back to 500, 34 and 34. They're still 8th. They're 8th in the West. But yeah, great win from Brooklyn. A big slate. It was, the final game was Toronto and the Lakers. D'Lo comes back for LA, and this was a really good one. High score first quarter. The Raptors, OG and Scotty, Jakob Portland in there as well. We're playing really good with the Lakers. It was Jared Vanderbilt. Jared Vanderbilt doing everything. AD a little bit in there. Really their bench. The Raptors led 35-31 at the end of the first quarter. Go to the second quarter. And the Lakers play really good in the second quarter. Jared Vanderbilt starts it off. He had a three-pointer. He had two three-pointers, actually. Forgot. He was doing really good. Dennis Schroeder as well, providing a spark. Coming off the bench now. AD did a little bit. D'Angelo Russell as well. The Lakers put up 39 in the second quarter, outscoring Toronto 39-27 and taking an 8-point lead into halftime. We go to the third quarter. OG was playing really well. Pascal, a little bit. Jakob Poeltl doing all the little things. And the Raptors flipped the table on the Lakers. Lakers just couldn't hit their threes. The Lakers get outscored 28-15 by the Raptors in the third quarter. The Raptors take a 5-point lead into the fourth, 90-85. Then we go to the fourth quarter, and Austin Reeves starts the fourth quarter off really well. Dennis Schroeder hits a three to make it a 1-point game. But then the Lakers just go crazy. D'Angelo Russell played amazing in that fourth quarter, hitting threes, finding his teammates. Dennis Schroeder and Austin Reeves got in there. Yeah, Dennis Schroeder was hitting threes. And the Lakers the bench just dominates that fourth. They put up 37 in the fourth quarter, outscoring them 37-22. And the Lakers win 122-112. It was a huge win for the Lakers. They shot 56% from the field. They had 13 threes. They got out turnover. They had 20 turnovers in this game. The Raptors just forced a lot of turnovers, though. That's just their team. But yeah, their bench was huge in this game. D'Lo, his first game back, got 28, 5, and 9 assists. He played really well in this game. But in their bench, Dennis Schroeder, 23 and 7 assists, 4 steals off the bench. Austin Reeves, 18. Rui Hachimura, 16. That's huge to get that bench production. And then Jared Vanderbilt also had 16 and 4. Yeah, Anthony Davis had 8 points in this game. If you would have told Laker fans like a month ago, there's a game where LeBron didn't play, and Anthony Davis had 8 points, but they still won this game by double digits, you would have thought we're talking about 2020, the 2020 Lakers. Because that's insane. AD just was kind of out there, not really doing much. It was really just everyone else, which is really good. Giving AD a little bit of a rest and letting all the bench players get into it. But yeah, for Toronto, they didn't play a bad game at all, though. Scotty had a really nice game, 32, 9, and 7, 13 for 19 shooting. OG had 31 and 5 steals. Jakob Poeltl had 17 and 10. But Pascal didn't really get anything going. He had 12 points, shot 5 for 13. Fred VanVleet had 8 points, he had 10 assists. Gary Trent didn't score in this game. Their bench just didn't do anything. They don't really have a bench. But yeah, Scotty and OG and Poeltl were really good. They couldn't get any help from anywhere else. And for the Lakers, it's the opposite. Their stars ain't doing good, but they got help from literally everybody else. And they got this win. The Lakers are on a 3-game winning streak. They're still 9th, but they're only a half game behind Minnesota and only a game out of the 6th spot. That's how insane this Western Conference is, but we're saying it all the time. The West is insane. Yeah, that's crazy. The Lakers are only a game away. If the Lakers win their next a game or two, they potentially could be in a lock in the playoffs. That's insane, isn't it? That's wild. But yeah, that's all I got for today. Yeah, thanks you guys for watching. Once again, if you like the content around here, subscribe. Like, turn on notifications, do all that stuff. It really helps out. I'm also at Twitter at EverydayHoops10. Today's a big day in college basketball. I'm going to be watching a lot of college basketball. It's championship day today and tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. Also be on the lookout for college videos coming out on Monday and Tuesday. I'm going to be dropping one video about all the tournament winner, the championship winners in each conference, and then I'm doing a March Madness bracket video as well. So be on the lookout for that. And so yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.